The different branches of the legal system. The above case of the dowry death falls within what is considered a crime against society and it is violation of criminal law. In addition to criminal law, the legal system also deals with civil law cases. You read in chapter 4 of how a new civil law passed in 2006 to protect women against domestic violence. Look at the following table to understand some of the significant difference between the criminal and civil law. Criminal law, civil law deals with conduct or act as the law defines as offense. For example, theft, harassing women to bring more dowry, murder. It is usually begin with the loading of an first information report (FIR) for the police who investigate the crime, after which a case is filed in the court. If found guilty, the accused can be sent to jail and also fined. What is civil law? Deals with any harm or injury to right of individuals, for example, dispute relating to sale of land, purchase goods, rent matter, divorce cases. A petition also has filed before the relevant court by the affected party only. In a rent matter, the landlord or tenant can file a case. The court gives the specific relief asked for. For instance, in a case between a landlord and a tenant, that court can order the flat to be vacated and pending rent to be paid. Fill in the table given below based on what you have understood about criminal and justice law. Look at the picture, branch of law and procedure to be followed, and descriptions of violation. Does everyone have access to the courts? In principle, all citizens of India can access the courts in this country. This implies that every citizen has a right to justice through the courts. As you read earlier, the courts play a very significant role in protecting our fundamental rights. If any citizen believes that their rights are being violated, then they can approach the court for justice to be done. While the courts are available for all, in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for a vast majority of the poor in India. Legal procedure involve a lot of money and paperwork as well as take up a lot of time. Poor people, person who cannot read, the whole family depends on a daily basis. The idea of going to court to get justice often seems remote. In response to this, Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of public interest litigations to or PIL to increase access to justice. It allowed any individuals or organization to file a PIL in High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights were being violated. The legal process was greatly simplified, and even a letter or telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court could be treated as a PIL in the early years. PIL was used to secure justice on a large number of issues, such as rescuing bonded laborers from inhuman work conditions and securing the release of prisoners in Bihar who had been kept in jail even after their punishment term was complete. Did you know that the midday meal that children now receive in government and government aided school in because of PIR? See the photos on the right and read the text below to understand how this came about. Look at the photo. For the common person, access to courts is access to justice. For the court exists a crucial role in interpreting the fundamental rights of citizens, as you saw in the above case. The courts interpreted Article 21 of Constitution on the right to life include the right to food. They therefore ordered the state to take certain steps to provide food for all, including the midday meal scheme. However, there are also court judgments that people believe work against the best interest of the common person. For example, activists who work on issues concerning the right of shelter and housing for the poor people believe that the recent judgment of evictions are a far cry from earlier judgment. While recent judgment tend to view the slum dweller as an encroacher in the city, earlier judgment like 1985 Olga Tallis and Bombay Municipal Corporation had tried to protect the livelihoods of the slum dwellers. The judgment of the Ogla Tallis of Bombay Municipal Corporation established the right to livelihood as part of right to life. The following export from the judgment point to the ways in which the judges linked the issues to the right to life that of livelihood. The sweep of the right to life conferred by the Article 21 is wide and far reaching. Life means something more than mere animal existence. It does not mean merely that life cannot be extinguished or taken away, as for example by the imposition or execution of that sentence, except according to procedure established by law. This is but one aspect of the right to life. An equally important phase of that right is the right livelihood, because no person can live without the means of living, that is the means of livelihood. That the evictions of a person from a pavement slum will inevitably lead to the deprivations of his means of livelihood in a proposition which does not have to be established in each individual case. In the present case, that fact, constitution, empirical evidence justify the conclusion that the petitioners live in slums and on pavements because they have small jobs to nurse in the city, for there is nowhere else to live. They choose a pavement or slum in the vicinity of their place of work, and to lose the pavement of the slum is to lose the job. The conclusion, therefore, is that the evictions of the petitioner will lead to the deprivations of their livelihood and consequently to the deprivation of life. Another issues that affect the common person's access to justice is the inordinately long number of years that courts take a hear a case. The phrase justice delayed is justice denied is often used to characterize this extended time period that courts take. Number of judges in India: Supreme Court 34, working strength 34, vacancies 0. High Court 1079 and working strength 655, vacancies 424. District and subordinate courts 22,644 and 17,509 and vacancies 5,135. Look at the picture. The above photo shows the family members of some of the Muslims Hashimpura, Meerut, killed on 22 May 1987. These families fought for justice for over 31 years. Due to a long delay in the commencement of the trial, the Supreme Court in September 2002 transferred the case from the state of Uttar Pradesh to Delhi. 19 provincial armed constabulary packed men faced criminal prosecution for alleged murder and other offences. By 2007, only 3 prosecution witnesses had been examined. Finally, the Delhi High Court convicted the accused person on 31st October 2018. Photo was taken at Press Club, Lucknow, 24 May 2007. However, in spite of this, there is no denying that the judiciary has played a crucial role in the democratic India, serving as a check on the powers of the executive and the legislature, as well as in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. The members of the Constituent Assembly had quite correctly envisioned a system of court with an independent judiciary as a key feature of democracy exercise. Look at this triangle. Uh, in above you can see the Supreme Court, in middle you can find High Court, and in lower you can see this lower court. And these are the exercise, and you can see the so many questions. Those you have to do it. And look at the death by hunger, right to food campaign, zero hunger, sorry it's hunger. And glossy, acquit, to appeal, compensations, eviction, violations. Thank you.